It's time to start planning for the 4th annual Millionaire Mindset Mixer.
The mixer?
I know it's early.
It's only February.
But this is perfect timing. It allows us to be even bigger and even better. This year is going to be the biggest financial literacy event Denver has ever seen.
Yeah, bigger and better. You say that every year. Yeah. You say that every year.
Bigger and better.
Bigger and better.
I know, but trust me, this year is the year of elevation.
All right, girl.
Get the team ready.
You know I got you. Hey, girl. It's time.
What y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe so bad.
Hey, it is Dr. AUSET, and we are on the Healer AUSET show on our network, not just for the people, we are the people. Thank you for joining. We are here every single Wednesday, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's 7 p.m. for my East Coast people. 4 p.m. for my West Coast people. So make sure that you have liked, shared, and subscribed, and you hit the little bell so that when my show is coming on, you know to come on and join. There are more shows on this network. Sheen Show. This is Denver's comedian. Bet that, and make sure that you are here every single Tuesday and Friday for that. We have so much talent. All right, so much talent. So Diddy Scene is going to be here every Tuesdays on our network. Make sure you remember where you're at. And of course, you are with me right now every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. We're going to get that soul healing, that holistic soul healing. The Mackin Show with 100 Racks on Wednesdays on our network. That's how good we are, y'all. We got everybody. We even got a sports talk show. Game Point with making sure that you just continue to support Friday Funk with Brother Damo, And we're going to keep this moving. Uncle Tux has a show. Everybody who is connected to the people are on our network. So make sure that you continue to support. We are an independent network. We are proud to be an independent network, making the standard as high as we reach it, and then we reach it even higher because that is just how good we are. But it is important for us to sustain the culture, to ensure that we are the ones navigating and telling our own stories. And this is why our network is so important. So make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Get the little bell so that you can join every single show that's on. And of course, make sure that you are with me. Today, we are doing readings because we got our followers up. So I am excited about that. So let's dive right into what we need to talk about so that we can open up those lines. Make sure that you hit more in the description on the YouTube channel so that you can connect to the Zoom. And as you're in the Zoom, you can come on. I do want to see your pretty face, so be off camera, please, so that we can connect, and then you can get this free reading. So just a mini reading. Don't think I'm about to give you a whole session, because I'm not. If you want a whole session, go book at www.healerausetmiriam.com, and we can get you in. I have all of my services there, so everything that I do. So we are now in part 2 of Sacral Chakra. So last week I assigned everybody to beautify yourself, to make sure that you are. I had people calling me like, I'm beautifying myself. I got my nails done. I did my hair. I got a new haircut. I'm listening to the show. Like, I'm letting you know, like, I'm checking in. Like, I beautified myself and I feel better, right? It's now becoming super exciting for me. It's always been exciting, but to get my makeup done once a week for the show. And by the way, Samia Joe is my MUA. She has been for almost 15 years. It's the only person I let touch my face in Denver. But she is dynamic. But to know that, like, I get to come, and it really does work my sacral chakra. I'll be busy all day. I get up earlier, start my day earlier on Wednesdays because I know I have the show, and just sitting in the chair, the way that she pampers when I get out, I just want to take a whole bunch of pictures because I just feel beautiful, and it helps me stay centered and grounded when I'm doing the show. And so it's those little small things of making sure that you're taking care of yourself. But I do want to talk about what it means when your sacral chakra is blocked, and how your body talks to you. Remember, everything is energy. So remember that from put your hand underneath a microscope that's strong enough, you are going to disappear. Everything is energy. So when your sacral chakra is blocked, this impacts all of this in your abdomen. And so that is your kidneys, that's your bladder, that's your urinary tract system, your reproductive systems, all of those things, ovarian cyst for women. This is where you are going to see that showing up, and that is sacral chakra energy that is blocked. And it's releasing it will help with realigning it. And letting go of the blockages so that they're not showing up, right? This is why you will hear folks in the medical field, we always say stress is usually the foundation of everything. Well, stress isn't anything tangible, right? Like you can't hold stress. Stress is an energy. And all you know is that when you show up and you're stressed out, that's all you know. There's not something that you touch and says, this is how I know I'm stressed. Stress shows up in various ways. And when it's impacting your sacral chakra, it's all of these organs that are right in your abdomen, that's what's being impacted, right? But that's not the only way, right? Like you can get a headache from being stressed out. Like all of this is energy. And so you have to recognize that stress, you have to release it. And one of the best ways to release it is to beautify yourself, because it makes you, when you feel good, when you look good, all of these things, it completely shifts your energy. And you think about it yourself. When you sluggish and you're being lazy and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, it impacts your energy level. All of that transfers into your being. All right. All of that. That's why fasting is important. That's why drinking your water is important. That's why exercising is important. All of these things, because it actually moves the energy and can redirect, right? Because simple science, energy it cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed. Kind of sounds like God energy, but I ain't about to preach to y'all today. But energy cannot be started by us, and it cannot be destroyed. And so when you recognize that, there's really the concept of positive and negative energy. Actually, on your highest vibration and in your highest operating self, it's really not a such thing as positive and negative. It's the only thing that there is balance. And when you get to that place, you recognize, oh, this bad energy thing may have happened to me, but it actually balanced out because of reaping what you've sown, right? That's what the old folks say. Old folks say you reap what you sow, you get out what you put in, right? Like all of those things, that is all energy. If we shifted our mind and recognize that all things that the Creator created for us are to work for us. God told us that we are the best of creation. God has explained to us that it is us who are in the image, right? And so being in the image means that when the rain comes, the rainbows come. When it does flood, there are beautiful harvests that comes. Right? So there's not necessarily this positive and negative in the sense that we can't utilize the energy, because we can't destroy it and we can't create it, but we can utilize it. Your sacral energy, that sexual energy, that sensuality energy. And when I say sexual energy, I'm not talking about go out there and it's your business. I'm talking about being responsible. I'm talking about redirecting the energy to be productive to you. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper on what it means about sexual energy. Sexual energy is what procreates. All right? Let's talk about procreation. Procreation is beyond sexual intercourse, right? When we're talking about the energy, now I'm not talking about the actual engagement, I'm talking about the energy. And we are operating in our highest vibration. That sacral energy, which is coming from sexual energy, can be utilized to actually procreate a program. with the right partners, can actually be used to procreate your vision, your business, whatever it is that you're doing, your rebranding, right? Like this is all the same type of energy, but redirecting it. That's why you will see when people fast from actually having sex, they become super productive. Because guess what? That energy still has to be used, still has to be utilized. And so when you're doing this sacral energy work, you still have the opportunity to procreate. You cannot procreate a human being, but you can procreate something to be used for production in our communities for yourself. That's why when you do have any type of a fast, right? Any type of a fast, it's not even just sexual. If you're fasting, and don't fast without purpose, because it's still energy. So you have to make sure. I just was talking to my grandfather about this, and it doesn't make sense to fast if you are not directing it to be pleasing to the Creator, to ensure that you're showing your discipline and your sacrifice. And what happens is, remember, there's no such thing as positive or negative. So as we're processing what could feel negative because we're hungry, because we're thirsty, because we're doing whatever, we're longing for whatever it is that we want, right? But when you are disciplined to overcome that, that is you sowing. So you are sowing into the energy, the God energy of saying, I'm willing to be disciplined. I'm willing to show up. I'm willing to sacrifice. And then what happens? What you reap then comes. Whether you get blessed with that position, you get blessed with that money, you get blessed with that relationship, you get blessed with whatever it is that your purpose of saying this is when we are instructed that we were created in the image. The image means I can tap into, and it is already, because it's already, your whole destiny has already been written. All you have to do is show up. And when you're tapped into from the root chakra, right? And now you're not feeling like you're in survival mode. There's a space of feeling safe. There's a space of knowing that you can be rooted. Then you go into your sacral chakra, where you're actually utilizing that energy to procreate, to recreate, to do whatever creation, right? Because that's the energy, that's the chakra that is used for actually creating. Right? And so making sure that that is there, but that energy, that God energy that is flowing through us, waiting for us to claim, waiting for us to say, I surrender. I know that I'm supposed to be utilized, and I will be utilized. And you can absolutely, absolutely do that when you are tapped into knowing that there is an energy higher than you, an energy that is calling for you to be your best self, because we all need you. We all need you. Let me say that again, because I don't think you hear me. We all need you. Because see, I'm not God. We are all equal. But God put something special in you, that touch in you that we all need. These things aren't called gifts. I'm going to keep saying this. These are not gifts for yourself. These are gifts to be given, because that is what your purpose is. And so as you're doing that, if you want to dive even deeper into sacral root, and we're going to just go through, we're going to spend 2 shows on each chakra. So the next 14, well, now we're on the next 10 shows are going to be all about making sure that you at least get a general understanding. But what I tell everybody in my chakra courses is, I am only the vessel. My goal to please the Creator is for you to realize how you are supposed to be used as a vessel. I can't tell you your gifts. What I can do is help you move energy around. What I can do is, when messages come, be able to give those messages to you so that you can get reconnected to the Creator and you can say, right? Because it's your work. It's not mine. It's your work. So my goal is to make sure that you begin to trust that you begin to trust. I'm getting a message in the Zoom, Damo, that's saying the audio is out. That's my producer, y'all. Make sure that y'all show some love to Damo. And I don't know if you want to go in the chat. You can. But yeah, make sure that you are completely being clear about what it means to show up for yourself and what it means to move the energy. See, this is let me say this. I know that there are so many different modalities, right? And I am a strong, firm knower, not believer. I am a knower of God. And I am a knower that all things are connected. And as all things are connected, in the connection, you will be able to show up. You will be able to unpeel layers. And there's also this disconnect to your trauma that has to happen. Right. And y'all we're going to talk about mental health once we get through the chakras, because I got a whole perspective that is probably not very popular, but I'm going to tell the truth, though. Right. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. But when you are connected in that way to the Most High, you are able to be very clear. Things become very clear about how and why you are supposed to be utilized for us and what it is that we need to do. Right. So I am going to again, June 3rd, we are starting a chakra course. If you are interested in enrolling, it's about 5 to 7, depending on the energy, 5 to 7 days of lecture. And then it's a 30-day course, and you get your certificate. You then can go out and you can helping people get back connected to God and helping people get their chakras cleansed and that healing and moving that energy so that they actually can show up. Right. All right. Let me, thank you. You see that? Let me see. June 3rd. I did this last week, y'all. I be busy, but I'm getting in the flow of today feels like the most natural show because I was here and we were here on time. We got everything rolling. It feels like, okay, we're finding our Damo is like, yeah, I'm in the flow now. I'm with you. So now y'all gonna hear me talking to him too, because when I don't have a guest, until I start having guests, I'm going to be talking. So shout out to Damo. Make sure that you watch his show too. So let's go into education. I am going to very, very lightly talk about this brother who had these baby girls doing his hair as an educator. Okay, wait. Wait. We've been on Brown versus Board of Education. That's what we've been on. Okay, that's what we've been on. And when we've been on Brown versus Board of Education, it has been some people don't like what I have to say about it. Some people are upset because I am going to tell the truth that Brown versus Board of Education put our community back. I am a component of feeling like integration put our community back. I might make some folks upset because I tell the truth, but what you can't deny are the statistics. What you can't deny is the proof is in the pudding. What you can't deny is you can look at the communities and tell. So as upset as you want to be, as much as you want to do whatever, please understand that integration did far more harm. And we have forgotten that we even know how to have the ingenuity to create our own. This is why I love our network, because we're not just the people, we are the people. And it really makes a difference of showing up and saying, I'm going to be independent. And I don't think that integration helped. I think that it suppressed. So with that being said, you are going to see, if you don't already see it in education, you are going to see this trend happen. And mark my words, I've been saying it since the first trend happened. The first trend was diversity, equity, and inclusion. Then they start throwing in justice. Then they start throwing in belonging. Then they started throwing in all of these other things. You're going to see all of those things get ripped away. It was just a trend. It was just for the moment. It was just so that people would be quiet. And it was just to have an influx of spending that did not serve our students. And now it's going to go away. You're going to see people getting fired. You're going to see the whole DEI effort in institutions of educational, in particular, educational institutions. You're going to see them begin to close, begin to dissolve, begin to do all of the things. Now, let me tell you something. If you are not a scholar, I do study, I do read, I do look at patterns and what the past has done for the future, right? Like I do these things. You are going to see that on a research level, there wasn't even enough time in the space of DEI for us to see if it would make an impact or not. The other flip side of that is that for Black and brown folks and underserved folks and marginalized folks and all of the things, we really took the bait. Let me tell y'all something. When it comes to education and the educational system, when it becomes trendy, tread lightly. When it becomes something of ... that now everybody's doing and we're all shifting and now we have statements of diversity, equity, and inclusion. What you're really saying is that these things did not exist and they were not embedded in our culture. I remember with back when and one day I am gonna tell the story. Y'all gonna keep y'all. I gotta keep you coming back, right? But I remember being in a situation as a school leader and folks asking me on behalf of VPAC what was our stance on whatever the curriculums were that were so controversial. There were so many that it's whatever. They wanted us to create a diversity, equity, and inclusion statement to put in, even when I was applying for grants. Like they wanted all of this stuff, and I was like, no, this is who we are. I don't have to show up and prove that this, no, if you come to any educational system that we create, that we have, you are going to automatically see, know, feel, hear. Everything is absolutely, this is embedded in who we are. There's no need for an additional statement, right? There's no need for any of that to happen because it's already there. And so when what you all are about to start seeing, and mark my word, when you go to your child's school or whatever, and you seeing that stuff is being taken away, you're going to understand what I was meaning. And you're going to be like, dang, Doc said that. Dang, Mama said was talking about that. But people are going to start getting fired, and this whole thing is going to move. Now, I was going to dive deeper into that, but I have gotten so many questions about what I feel about this young man who was a teacher and had his, I think it was 4 or 5 little girls in his hair. And actually, the first person I talked to about it is my sister. And my first reaction was, as a principal, he would be fired. He would be fired. Like, he would absolutely be fired. And this was because initially I was just listening to his responses. I hadn't fully watched his original video. I had only seen, what is it called? Stitching? What's it called when they do something and then and then somebody else doing the commentation? Like, that's what I had saw first. And someone tagged me and was like, Mama said, what did you think about this? And when they tagged me on social media, I just was like, absolutely not, and kept it moving. Didn't even know viral, didn't know anything. My sister and I were talking. Shout out, Jeanette. I love you. But my sister and I were talking about it, and she is an Angels advocate. She always kind of gives a different perspective, and she's like, well, what about this? What about this? So she's letting me know what's happening with the viral video. Now, let me explain to you why he did deserve to be fired. But I'm also going to tie this back into Brown versus Board of Education. So y'all put your seatbelt on and get your notes out. First of all, because of Brown versus Board of Education, we do not have any black teachers, black leaders in the scale that we once did. It's gone. We don't. So one of the things in being a new educator is it is crucial that you have a mentor. It is crucial that there is a new teacher leader process that comes in where leaders connect with the new teachers and they're giving them the support and the mentorship. Brown versus Board of Education snatched away the elders in education. And the elders in education are key in education, particularly for indigenous cultures, folks of color, those of us who say we are culturally competent. It is vital, because if it does not happen, right, we are going to be without a generation of keeping us rooted. So the first thing is that Brown versus Board of Education is the cause of why we have outrageous teachers in the first place. And I'm gonna go into that in a second. But Brown versus Board of Education is rooted in the reason why in our communities, and now the black and brown folks who are in education, they're exhausted, they don't know what to do, they're caught off guard because culturally this is not how we show up in parenting, this is not how we show up in village, and now we're in this institution that is counterintuitive to who we are culturally. So that's the first thing. Second thing, why he should have been fired is because what we've been talking about, this is why I say, folks been asking me to comment on this all week, but I wanted to save it for this show because we're also talking about the sacral energy. All right. Let's not deny that when you have a young I know I had a young teacher, and I know that some of my friends as a student had crushes on my young teachers. That has nothing to do with him. Has nothing to do with him, because you can't stop that, right? What you can do, though, is create boundaries. And this is where I want to be very clear. Sacral energy, when it is allowed to go haywire and wherever, it creates a blurred line of appropriateness. This young man was completely inappropriate with these young girls. I don't care if it, people are like, well, what if it was a woman teacher and this is biased and da-da-da-da-da. No. Remember, procreation of energy. Sacral energy can procreate not just a human, but an energy. So now I have this energy that is inappropriately being mixed with students, whether or not you verbally are inappropriate, whether or not you are physically inappropriate. Women, don't lie to yourself. You know when you were in the presence of a predator, especially if you've done your work. You can sit next to somebody, male or female. You can sit next to somebody and sense. That's why that gut fit. This is why your sacral energy is so important, because in my work, in indigenous healing work, we say this area is actually your spiritual brain, because it is so connected to everything, right? Your lymphatic system, all of the things is so connected to. I'm not gonna give no science lecture today, but when you get those gut feelings, that is real energy. That is real spiritual energy. So when this man is having all of these young girls in his hair, the inappropriateness of it is there's no boundaries. And then, his responses were, I have a safe space in my classroom and da-da-da-da-da. Safe space don't mean there's no boundaries. Let's be very clear about that. Safety is provided with boundaries. Let me tell you something. First of all, my girls would know, you better not put your hand in no grown man's head. And I saw the comments where parents feel like he's safe and they appreciate him and they value him. Let's go back to Brown versus Board of Education. Brown versus Board of Education, because they attacked the educational institution, which is the longest institution that we are in. We are in education from 3 years old, if you got as much school as I did, until you are like 35. So in that longest institution, it breaks down, right? We have generations of educational trauma. And in that educational trauma, we have associated schools that are counterintuitive to who we are as a community as our village. So now we don't have any boundaries, because there ain't no boundaries in education no more. These students can do stuff without you knowing as a parent. Where they do that at? This is Brown versus Board of Education. This one thing impacted our entire community. It is not, why we gotta chase what other folks have, when everything that is had is because of the influence of us? When are we going to remember our own power and say, let us just create something? Listen, look at the world. That young man deserved to be fired. He should have been fired. And quite frankly, the parents, again, Brown versus Board of Education, we ain't parenting no more. The parents who were actually defending this man and actually said, I don't care how great you were with my student. If you were great with my student for 15 years, that one time you get weird, oh, you weird. And then what happened, right? So then me and my sister were talking, and then 2-3 days later, we actually see where there's inappropriateness with him and the student. Listen, all you got to do is study. All you got to do is read. That's all you got to do. Patterns repeat. And speaking of which, there is so much sexual inappropriateness that's happening in education between teachers and students. I promise, I tell my children all the time, and I hope you tell your children this too. Once you start having grandchildren, my grandchildren, we homeschooling, baby. We not putting it, and at the minimum, we going to a private school where the education system is exactly what we want it to be, because it is failing. It has continued to fail. It was designed to fail you. Y'all, I could go on and on, because I am an educator, and I take the education of our people very seriously. We need our scholars back. We need our writers back. We need the folks who are going to study a thing and research back. We need to get back to where we were in scholarship. I know you can twerk. I know you can dance. I know you can rap. I know you can do all of those things. I can too. You might find me doing it too. But you best believe I got about 4-5 books that I'm reading at the same time. We need your scholarship. We need you to read. We need you to research. And beyond TikTok, like actually getting a book, actually writing a book. We need the scholarship back. Brown versus Board of Education pushed our black men out of education and into labor. And there ain't nothing wrong with laborers. All right, I love a laborer, because they're usually the best gentlemen. No shade, but it's true. I can hear folks say, it ain't true. It's true in my experience. Let me say that. And what I want to stress is that if you're not in education on an administrative level, or access to an administrative level where you can see statistics, and teachers can see statistics. If you can't see that our community has to wake up, we talking about Kendrick Lamar and Drake beefing, and ain't nobody sat down and read Powernomics. And ain't nobody realized that our institutions are gone, that we don't produce anything anymore. It has already happened, y'all. We keep talking about it's about to happen if we don't do. It's already happened. It's already happened. So either you're going to wake up or you're not. Either you're going to receive the truth or you're not. This ain't my opinion. Go research. Go read. I keep telling myself, like, I don't want to make this like a scholarly show and like provide data and stuff like that, but I just love data and I love research, and maybe every so often I'll say, read this research paper, y'all. Like, go see for yourself. This isn't opinion. This is straight facts with statistics and things to fall back on. Okay. That might have made you mad. I might have ticked somebody off because of my position and everything. So let's talk about something beautiful in the village. Y'all, VPAC, I am so 20 years in November is crazy. We are going to be working on a documentary. We got an original production coming. Like, it is, but 20 years is crazy to say. We've been in existence for 20 years. That is crazy. And doing the same things that we started with, even when we got a little derailed, the community in our village just embraced us, brought us back in, and we're back, and we're fully back. If you need something for your baby to do in the month of June, holla at me. If you're listening to the, oh, look at my babies. This is for our K-5 team. This is for our littles team. We are looking for, I would love to have a team of about 15 to 20 littles, because that's about the size of our bigs team. Tuition is $200 a month. We practice every Sunday from 12 to noon. 12 to noon, noon to 3 p.m. at Athletics and Beyond. That is our partner. We are excited about that partnership coming. But it's so much more than dance. Like, we do character development. We do healing work for the babies. They are learning sisterhood and brotherhood. They're learning village. It is genuine old school Black culture, right? Like, if your baby is at home acting a fool, you better call the parent committee and we gonna get them right. So, like, this is all about village for us. Also, we are doing a summer camp. If you are seeing this right now, the cost is $500 a month. Lunch is included, snack is included. It is from noon to 5 all of the month of June at Athletics and Beyond, our home and our partner. If you're seeing this, I'm gonna give it to you for $400. I'm gonna take $100 off. So make sure that you are registered. We would love this to be heavy with littles, because again, now that I'm back coaching, I can't get away. I can't get away from these children. These children gonna pull me back. I'm gonna be 95 still trying to dance, and y'all better not be laughing at me either. But yes, summer camp, please, if you need something for your babies to do, this is such a great opportunity. They do a performance, all of that. If you have bigs that want to come too, we want bigs too. We just have a really big bigs team, and they're really successful, and all of them are going to Atlanta in July. So they're going to be training too. However, we are looking for our littles team, because we got Juneteenth coming up. We got the Black Arts Festival coming up. We got all of the things. And then, of course, the performance. So bring your babies, bring your babies, bring your babies. We are going to Atlanta. If you are a bigs dancer and you truly want to understand what it means to be a dancer, to have a dance career, I was blessed since I was 12 years old, being a professional dancer, and had just an awesome career. And from 12 to 37, I retired at 37. It was just one of the things that sustained me, being able to, from choreography, that folks will tell you there's no career in the arts. We tell you it's a lie, because it absolutely is. And so if your bigs want to get involved and want to come with us when we go to Atlanta, we go to Atlanta for the first 2 weeks of July, do a dance intensive, then we come back to Denver, do a dance intensive, and next year our Atlanta dancers will be coming back to Denver with us, and we're gonna do a whole big shebang. 20 years in November. That is crazy. www.vpac2020.org. Again, that is www.vpac2020.org. I think we ready for these readings. That's what I'm thinking. That's how I'm feeling. I gotta put my headphones on. Before we do, we're gonna go ahead and let you I forgot to mention my birthday party. I'm tripping. Black Leadership Foundation. We started a foundation. Yeah, listen, when I say we independent over here, we independent over here. Our network, VPAC, HEALER, AUSET, all this stuff is independent. Don't know anybody putting money over our heads telling us how we got to show up. Ain't nobody doing none of that. We showing up completely and totally. And that's why we started Black Leadership Foundation. Shout out to Puerto Rico. Y'all know her as Shantae. You saw her commercial at the beginning of the show. Make sure that you get your tickets to Millionaire Mindset Mixer in August. Remember, August 3rd, you kicking it with me all day. You're going to go to the mixer in the daytime. Then you're going to come to the VPAC show at night. So I'm going to see you all day. So go ahead and block out August 3rd on your calendar right now and just say kicking it with Mama AUSET. Because that's what you're going to be doing. We're going to go to the mixer. So the commercial that you saw at the top of the show, that is very, very, very dear sister of mine, Shantae. And she is doing that. I'm excited. This is the 4th year. We're doing something totally different. We're doing workshops. I will be discussing nonprofits and the benefit of nonprofits in our community. And then her and I and Dr. Bo Knight, who is also with me in VPAC, and JC, I talk about my sister all the time, and JC and Jalil, we started Black Leadership Foundation. We want to grassroots raise money. We need 500 people to donate $1,000 a year. That ain't nothing, y'all. It ain't nothing. Divide 1,000 by 12. It ain't nothing. All right. We need you to donate $1,000 because we want to raise at least $500,000 to give 4 Black leaders $100,000 check. And with that $100,000 check, it is just to support their efforts. They can use it how they want to. We are very clear. You can use it operationally however you want to, but we need your help. We don't want to write grants. And those of you who are getting into writing grants, it's a whole industrial complex. One day we're going to talk about that too. We need to raise the money ourselves and remain independent so that we can grant our leaders what they need. So BLF, we're going to take a quick commercial and then we're going to open up the line so we can do some readings. My birthday's coming. Leadership Foundation was a huge success. Black Leadership Foundation, or BLF, is a tax-exempt organization that will close the philanthropic gap for Black-led, Black-serving organizations and businesses. BLF is dedicated to empowering and uplifting Black leaders to drive positive change in their communities and beyond. Our foundation provides financial resources, leadership development, and networking opportunities to support the growth and development of Black leaders in various fields. BLF acknowledges the disparities, systemic oppressions, racism, and any other mechanisms designed to keep us in the current conditions we are in. While we acknowledge those roadblocks, BLF is focused on creating and sustaining real solutions. We don't want to talk about it, we want to be about it. BLF raises funds through collective contribution levels. Individuals, businesses, organizations, and other philanthropic foundations are invited to financially contribute to the investment of Black leadership. BLF is dedicated to raising a minimum of $500,000 with 500 Level 1 contributors to distribute $100,000 to 4 deserving organizations. The ultimate goal is to raise $2.5 million by reaching and sustaining 500 contributors at Level 3. BLF aims to develop impactful leaders through executive and economic coaching rooted in collaborative fundraising that enhances the Black community. Black-led funding for Black-led, Black-serving companies and organizations will contribute to closing the gap in philanthropy, economic development, health and wellness of our communities. Become a Level 1 contributor and set the roots for BLF to grow. At this level, you donate $1,000. Become a Level 2 contributor and see the roots sprout for BLF. At this level, you donate $2,500. Become a Level 3 contributor and see BLF trees providing the oxygen that our communities need. At this level, you donate $5,000. BLF asks that each level contributor commits to a 3-year commitment. For the 2023 Harlem Nights launch party, BLF thanks all of our partners and everyone who came from across the country to celebrate with us. Join us August 24th, 2024 for the Hawaiian Luau Brunch at the Gathering Spot. Once we surpass our fundraising goal, we will be able to grant 4 deserving Black leaders with a minimum of $100,000 for their organization or business. For more information and how you can commit to becoming a collective contributor, visit us at www.blackleadershipfoundation.org. We cannot wait to see you next year. Let's change the world. And we are back. I am super excited.
Harlem Nights
We're gonna
launch party
open
of
up.
Black Leadership Foundation was a huge success.
Psych. We're going to open up the lines. If you are on YouTube, go ahead and go into the description and you will see the Zoom link that you can join. We're going to ask you to get off of camera so that as you're in the Zoom, we can do some readings. We can have some conversations. You might not want to get a reading. Maybe you just want to talk to me, and I'm cool with that too. So go ahead and go into the Zoom. Damo is going to make sure that you get in there, and we're going to open up the lines. If you are in the Zoom, I see that we have a couple of people. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Let's see, Adrian. Oh, and my daddy's here. Hi, Adrian. How are you? I'm good. Can you turn your camera, if you're comfortable? You want to turn your camera on and join me? You want it off? Okay. That is fine with me. Okay, so have you ever gotten a reading before?
I have not.
Okay, is that what you called for? Let me make sure.
What was it again?
Is that what you called for? Did you call to get a reading?
Yes.
Okay, so let me explain to you what a reading is. I explain to people that you are a spiritual house, and I can knock on the door, I can ring the doorbell, I can knock on the window, I can break in, but I do not. I honor and respect spiritual integrity, and so if I can sense that it's something you don't want to talk about, then I won't go there. But you are the house. All I am doing is helping you reconnect to the God voice in you. So it should feel like a reminder. It should feel like a wake-up call. I'm not psychic. I do not tell the future. I read your energy and your spirit and where you're at right now, because that's the beauty that God gave us, choice, that you can get the information and you can change your mind. Okay. Does that sound good for you?
That sounds perfect.
Okay. All right. So you can ask me one question.
That's what should my question be?
I can tell you, I know I asked, but the messages are coming. I can tell you that right now you're in an energy of clearing. It feels like 2 situations that are actually being removed. And I don't know if it's you being sick and tired or being tired, or if you're realizing that you might be holding on to something and you're on the brink. Like you feel it's like explosion. You feel your next stage is right on your fingertips. And there's like 2 big discipline things that you need to do.
I definitely do agree with that. I think I'm on a transition with my life when it comes to overall how my life is living, the people that I talk to, my academics. I'm just now in this transition phase.
You're on the brink of it. So what's your question? Maybe what's your question?
My question will be, how will this continue? What would be the next steps to continue this after this break is over, after this transition ends?
Okay, let me make sure I'm understanding. So you're not feeling like you're in transition, even though that's the message, or you
No,
are?
I am feeling like that.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I misheard you. I thought you said you don't agree, and I was like, "Oh, baby, your energy said you in transition." So, okay, I'm glad I cleared that up. Okay, so it's consistency. The message is, even when it feels like it's not happening, it is. So stay consistent. But these two things, I feel like one of them is a person or a connection to a person that needs to be just transitioned out of the way. But it's going to clear everything. What's going to happen after is you need to be prepared to receive, that you're going to receive what you put your discipline to. Because you actually have the ability, you're really, your spirit is saying, like, you can think about what you want and it comes to you. And so, like, they're saying, like, don't minimize that you have that level of favor. Don't think you're crazy. Don't think it's like, right, that's what's going to be able to sustain you in the consistency as you're transitioning things out.
That really resonated. That just gave me a totally different perspective and viewpoint. I definitely needed that.
Good. And also too, I don't like to get super personal when it's free readings online, right? I respect your privacy, but just, yes, I'm glad you're receiving it, but it is gonna feel stagnant in a moment, but it's not gonna be a long moment. So that's gonna be the test. Will you be consistent in trusting that God's favor always gives you what you want? And sometimes it might feel like, I barely prayed about this, you know what I mean? And then you're like, it shows up. That's the message. But it's gonna feel a little strange in that stagnant time. But it's just because God is rearranging everything, and in the rearrangement we have to be still. That's why it says, the word says, peace be still, because in that stillness God is actually moving all the chess pieces on the board to bring you what you want. So it feels stagnant, but that's usually the test moment.
Thank you for that.
You are very welcome. You are very welcome. Thank you for calling in and watching. This is our network. I'm AUSET. If you want to go deeper, find me, follow me, and we can go deeper into it as well.
That's perfect. Sounds good.
All right. Thank you. All right, let me see. Y'all, let me tell you how good my village is. My mama and my daddy and my sister been on every single show. They gonna show up. Let's go to Aaron Phillips, my papa. Hey, Daddy. Listen, let me make sure he knows how to. Daddy, you gotta hit unmute and get off camera. That's all right. We're gonna go to Jeanette Crenshaw. Hey, JC. Can you unmute yourself and go off camera?
Hey,
if you want.
I don't have a question. I'm in here being nosy.
Y'all, this is JC. Jeanette, this is my little sister. VPAC would not be in existence if it was not for her. VPAC is not my idea. It was her idea and a crew of her crew. A crew of her crew. And 20 years later, we are here. So, what you
You're
think?
old.
What's your thoughts?
About everything? About
Everything. Everything.
I mean, I think you're spot on. You know, we already talked about the teacher. I agreed with all of that. I'm loving the chakra mini course, I guess, before we do the real course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a question, so I don't want to take up time, but keep doing your thing, boo. I'm here.
Thank you, sister. I love you.
I love you too.
All right. If you are on the YouTube, go in the description and you will see the Zoom link. You can join the Zoom link and Damo will let you in and we will get you a reading, a small mini reading. Let's see who's in here. Oh, my baby. Diego. You can open up Diego.
Hey,
Hey.
I'm just out here being nosy too. I don't got nothing to say. But you just talked to my roommate. She was like, oh, I need to join your godmom's live and give me a reading. That's what you just spoke to.
And was it on point for her?
It sure was.
Okay. Oh, she's in real transition. Did she just graduate?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Go ahead, baby.
Senior year.
Okay, seniors. I'll be down there.
Right.
To meet
I
y'all.
I gotta send you my day.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna keep it moving because we're getting more people. Everyone, that was Diego Gonzalez. That is my godson. He is also VPAC's dance coordinator. And when I say this baby puts in work for these students, he's a dance major at Arizona. And let me tell you, this is the power of village. When I first met Diego, first he was a baby. But once he came to VPAC, he did not want to dance with us. He did not like my daughter. My daughter didn't like him. And now they're best friends, god siblings. I'm his godmom, and Chantel Lewis is his mother. Councilwoman Chantel Lewis is his mother, and my daughter's godmother. So that shows village, right? And he is one of the most beautiful dancers and one of the most impactful. Let me tell you, since we're talking about male teachers, Diego has access to young girls dancing. And he clearly knows the appropriateness of access to him, the appropriateness of what safe space means. There is a difference. And here in our village, all of the babas are safe. Well, Diego's not a baba yet, but all of the fathers, all of the men involved with VPAC, it's safe because they truly protect and provide, and they also honor the sacred boundaries. You ain't never gonna see nothing like that with no VPAC, baby. This is some hair. Boy, let me stop talking about it. All right, Shantae, let's open up Shantae.
Hey, sister.
I love my village. Hey, sis.
How are you?
Are you off camera?
I am off camera.
Hey,
Rose! Calling from Florida. I'm off camera. I was over here just studying and I had class canceled tonight. Typically, I miss on Wednesdays, and I got the opportunity to join today and see the fruits of your labor. Oh. And I just wanted to hop on here and say how proud I am of you. The show is amazing. You have it set up amazing. And the knowledge and the wealth of information that you're providing in this short time, I just want to encourage everybody to get on her calendar one-on-one, because when she's telling you about this work and she's telling you about these things, this is not a experiment, okay? Yes. She's done the work, and she also requires you to do your own work, and she requires you to show up for yourself. And that's huge, because I've experienced, clinical therapists, and I've experienced holistic healing, and they are completely different, right? I would leave one setting and be like, so what am I supposed to do next? But not with Dr. AUSET. That's not the same. There's clear homework. There's clear things that you need to discover. There's clear identity things that you have to identify and just process and understand. And she holds your hand the whole way, also by let you go. And it's a healthy balance of both. And so I encourage everybody who is hearing this, who gets to be under the sound of my voice and her voice on this show today. She is the real deal, Holyfield. So I just wanted to give you that shout out and just tell you how proud I am of you. On this one segment, you have outlined every single talent of yours, and it is just showing, and it is loud, and it is proud. And I just want to show up and tell you how proud I am of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That is who you will see spending all of August 3rd together. That is Shantae, Millionaire Mindset Mixer is hers. I am so proud and honored to be a part of it. And she is also all up in BLF. And we're going to raise this money, and we're going to give our leaders the money that they need for the support that they have. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming on.
I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up for the community and being selfless.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you right back.
Yes, yes. All right. It is about that time to say goodnight. To remind you to like, share, and follow our network. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Every time you see Healer AUSET show, make sure that you are on Wednesday. But there are shows every day of the week. And so make sure that you are going to support. This is an independent network. This is the reason why we are doing this on our network. Everything that we do, we are trying to get folks to understand we need to build our own institutions, and our network is our media institution that we are going to trust, that we are going to support, that we are going to get out there and make sure that we're creating the lane that we need. We're not asking permission. We're not apologizing for showing up. And we're going to be big. We're going to be loud. We're going to be culturally who we are. And we're going to get this work. And with me, you're going to get this healing work. You're going to heal. You're going to thrive. You're going to get reconnected to God. You're going to remember that God created you to be a gift to us all. You're going to do all of the things because I need you. Because the community needs you. These babies need you. The mothers, the fathers, the elders. Everyone needs you to show up. I am your host, Healer AUSET Miriam, Dr. AUSET, Mama AUSET, Mama, what's all the names? Umi, all of the names. And I show up in that, and I need you. I'm going to see you next week. We're going to open up the lines a little bit earlier because I have a feeling that folks are going to go back and say, y'all could have got a reading. And so we're going to open up the lines a little bit earlier next week and make sure that we get this work in. I love y'all. Your homework for this week is to just sit and be consistent in your beauty. So do something beautiful for yourself in this next week. Share it with me when you come back in the chat. Let me know. I do go back and watch, and I do go back and try to comment. I do go back and do all of the things. And eventually Damo gonna just have a microphone, and he gonna be talking with me and telling me what y'all saying in real time too, because I could not do this show. And I need to shout out Damo because I could not do this show. I don't know nothing about video production. I'm a live performer, so I don't know nothing about cameras and all of that. Y'all know, if you've been with me all these years, I've been on the radio. And when I'm doing the radio show, I be in my pajamas by myself. And so making the transition has been beautiful. And visually, the comments that y'all are giving me about the production and about how good it is, that's not me. I didn't do nothing but buy a few items. I didn't even put it up. Let me tell y'all, I ordered all of my stuff, and Damo and Tux put my whole set together. All I didn't do nothing. So I cannot take credit for that. That is not me. That's our network. And now you see why we're here. I love y'all. Until next week. This is our network. I am Healer AUSET Miriam on Holistic Soul Healing. We are not just for the people. We are the people. Next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We'll see you then. Free readings. Peace.